So, hello guys, what's up, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. And this is OPAG News TV. For those who are new, kindly subscribe and stay glued for more interesting videos. People don't get the chance to pick the families they are born into. If we did, Promise Ilerioluwa Oladimeji Aluba, popularly known as Mohbad, might just have picked a family a little bit more financially stable. Mohbad, born on the 8th of June 1996 in the Ikorodu area of Lagos State, was the perfect example of a trenches kid, a title he wore like a badge of honor. Somewhere along the line of his growing up, Mohbad lost close contacts with his mother and was left in the care of his father and his stepmother. Some lyrics of his song has revealed that he never really got that much care from her anyways. After his primary and secondary education, he has revealed that his father assisted getting him admission into a polytechnic. But furthering his education wasn't working for him at all. He was all about the streets, all about his grind, all about his hustle. And before long, he dropped out. With no decent job and no proper education, the harsh realities of life soon came biting hard on him. His hustling here and there could hardly sustain him. He had to go and learn a skill. Mohbad had one inner talent, one interest, one passion, one that he could never put away. He loved to sing, rap, and entertain. Mohbad would constantly make covers of songs, trending songs from popular musicians, and post it to his Instagram page. He did one for Kiss Daniel, another for Techno, and in addition to that, he kept on releasing freestyle on his Twitter and Instagram handles.
I want you better.
He was just putting himself out there, selling himself, trying to gain visibility. And soon enough, he began to get noticed. The online growth came, the followership came, he became an online sensation. And you know what they say about the light being unable to stay hidden for long? He soon got noticed and caught the attention of music executive and owner of Malian Records, Naira Marley. And before long, he got signed into Naira Marley's record label as an artist. His life was about to change for the better, or maybe for the worse. Getting signed into one of Nigeria's biggest record label must have been a dream come true for Mohbad. His looks, lyrics, style of delivery came with that relatable street trenches identity. He and his music has a connection to the ordinary person on the streets. It stood him out and people loved him for it. In 2020, only 1 year after he was signed in, he collaborated with award-winning producer Rexy to release Kopoke, and gosh, that was a street anthem. The success of the song gave him more wings, more confidence to keep soaring. And by the end of that same year, he released his first studio album titled Light EP. This 8-track album was an instant hit. With over 25 million streams on Audiomack alone, in the first month and 3 Headies nominations, this young star was surely heading to stardom. But he did not just stop there. He kept on dishing out great street relatable music touching on issues that pertain to the average man in Nigeria. And when he came off with Feel Good, oh my gosh. His grace was truly automatic because only a few years after getting into the industry, he had done so well for himself. He had 3 Hades nominations, 5 The Beat Awards nominations, in several music charts. It was no longer argument at all that Mohbad had become one to look out for in the Nigerian entertainment industry. But this moving train was about to experience an abrupt halt. Trouble started for Mohbad in September of 2022 when he took to his social media account to call out his record label boss Naira Marley, accusing him of assaults and violence. Taking to Instagram, he put up a video of himself beaten, bleeding, and badly injured. And he said, "Just because I want to change my manager, which is their brother, see what they did to me at Malian House."
ẹ ṣáà ti rí wáyé ṣe Mohbad ẹ ṣáà ti rí wáyé ṣe Mohbad sí wàhálà náírà dé díẹ̀ o náírà dé díẹ̀ ọsáré bò mọ́lẹ̀ ẹ ṣáà ti rí wáyé ṣe ẹ ṣáà rí wáyé ṣe ọmọ ìlú ọmọ ọlọ́mọ náírà is fucking there no wàhálà nice one ká máa lọ náà ó dey go.
He explained that his record label boss Naira Marley had unleashed his dogs on him, ordering his goons to beat him to a pulp, simply because he chose to leave the record label and get a new manager. So in October of 2022, only 1 month after that assault incident, Mohbad took to his social media to release an official statement revealing that he has now cut ties and is no longer under the management of Malian Records. Now, it is still unclear why Mohbad chose to leave Malian Records only 3 years of being its signee. Some people considered it rather premature. They believe that Mohbad could have done with some more tutoring, some more guidance, some more benefiting from the brand and platform of Naira Marley. They believe that there was so much more that he could have gotten from his boss, who had a lot more experience and connection in the industry. They wondered why this young lad was in such a rush to leave. And on these questions, there have been so many speculations. The first suspicion was that of ripoff, and that is not new to a lot of us. Some people suspected that Mohbad was being so thoroughly ripped off his Malian Records royalties. Come on, we've heard of circumstances where these record label bosses take up to 90% of the royalties of these artists, leaving them with crumbs and peanuts to survive on. That was the first suspicion. The more popular suspicion, one that made it round the streets of the social media, was that Naira Marley was allegedly trying to use Mohbad to peddle drugs. People had accused Naira Marley of being a drug peddler, a drug lord, and that he disguises as a record label boss to use these signees to push his illegal and illicit drugs business. The third and the most popular on the street is that Naira Marley was allegedly trying to force Mohbad into cult-related activities, trying to force him to be initiated in his cult group, and that Mohbad had refused to do that, and that caused the strain in their relationship, forcing Mohbad to quit. These are the 3 words on the streets, allegedly. That single decision by Mohbad to quit Malian Records may have brought about the very many woes that followed. Naira Marley is said to be an inexorable green individual a very shrewd businessman. There are reports that he felt insulted and slighted by Mohbad's decision to exit his record label. He may have thought, oh, after I gave you a brand, gave you popularity, gave you a platform, you think you can just quit on me like that? We shall see about that. Now, there is a very close ally of Naira Marley called Samson Balogu, aka Sam Larry. You see, in every street, every city, every zanga, there are movers and shakers of that hood. And when I say movers and shakers in this context, I'm not referring to people that control the economy or prices of goods and services in the markets. No. I'm talking about savage individuals who are used to execute dirty underground deals. And there is word on the streets that Sam Larry is your go-to guy in those affairs. Let me portray further. During the last governorship and presidential elections, it is no news that some particular set of individuals were threatening some tribes not to come out and vote or risk being beaten, injured, or even killed. Now, there was a knife-holding street urchin that was going around polling booth to polling booth using machetes to threaten and beat up people who came to vote their preferred candidates. That guy is Sam Larry's ally. Sam Larry is popular. He is connected. He commands the streets. And he is Naira Marley's best friend and ally. He definitely is not the best guy to have on the opposite team. Not long after Mohbad left Naira Marley's record label, Sam Larry unleashed a plague of terror on him. He planted informants everywhere and tracked Mohbad to any destination. He always had his thugs around him and dared to not hesitate a second to give Mohbad a generous dose of beating. It almost seemed like he was acting out of scripts and instruction. That since Mohbad had chosen to leave the record label, then he would not be able to do music for the rest of his life. Because he was tracked down everywhere in studios, music video shoots, at gigs and shows, even abroad, even down to his home, his rented apartment in Lekki. Scores of touts would storm his home, unleash and terrorize him. Sam Larry and his touts ensured that Mohbad's legitimate business was constantly interrupted. They would disrupt his performances and then proceed to beat him and strip him. Gosh. It seemed like he had no hiding place. They were everywhere. He was constantly living in panic, fear, and apprehension. The next day was not guaranteed. He was in constant dread. It was so bad that he reportedly got married but couldn't even celebrate his wedding. Even when he welcomed the son a few months ago, he couldn't even take to social media to announce it as people like him would typically do. Because he was scared for the lives of his family, he wept, he cried out, he voiced out. He said that if anything happens to him, we should hold his record label boss, Naira Marley, to account. Yes, he said it.
I'm a bad boy. Now my mama saw here. I don't really mean it like that from my mind. You mean it, so I don't know these people are behaving on me. They have been doing bad things on me. I went mad into it because of this issue. Now they are trying to kill me. Everybody in the whole world, please help me if I die. Oh, Amalia me, Amalia kill me. Abeg, if I Jésù Kristi, Ọlọ́run gbà mí o, Jésù ẹ gbà mí o, Ọlọ́run ẹ gbà mí o, Jésù ẹ gbà mí o. Ah, look at all these people, sha. My God will never fuck me up. Never, never.
And what is also worthy to note is that in all the pictorial and video publications, evidence in all that many assaults that he passed through, Mohbad never retaliated. He never even defended himself. He didn't want to fight. He just wanted his peace, his life, his sanity, his freedom. He just wanted his safety. These were robbed from him on a daily basis. When the cracks, bullying, and harassment became unbearable, Mohbad had to petition the Commissioner of Police, reporting Sam Larry and all the many things that he has been going through. In part of that petition read, on the 25th of June 2023, while having a video shoot with another artist, the above named persons, numbering about 15, led by Sam Larry and Oba Elegushi, invaded the premises with dangerous arms such as guns, cutlasses, etc. They scattered the whole process of the shooting, damaged the equipment I was using for the shoot, valued about 5 million naira, and in the process, they became violent and assaulted me, which I sustained injuries, but I narrowly escaped. During the assault, they were boasting that they worked for the Oba of Elegushi, one of the very senior monarchs in Lagos, and that they have been asked to deal with me for reasons best known to them, which till date, they are still threatening to kill me if seen. The petition continues, but it's good I highlight that part. Despite all this cry for help, most unfortunately, no arrest was made. Absolutely nothing was done to protect this young man from his assailants, his aggressors. Not from the industry where he belonged, not from law enforcement agencies. This defenseless boy was out on a limb, on his own, on a battle that was too big for him to fight alone. Mohbad got totally fed up and couldn't find any help on earth. He decided to take his own life. He attempted suicide. The whole horror got him hypotensive at only 26 years of age. He was constantly under admission. His blood pressure was shooting up the roof. His wife has come out to recount on how he was always unhappy, how it was totally impossible for him to spend a full day being happy. He was depressed. He was hysterical. He was frightened. He had nowhere to run to. So this intimidation, bullying, and constant attack spanned on for years until only a few days back. On the 12th of September, the news got out that Promise Ilerioluwa Oladimeji Aloba, aka Mohbad, had passed on. When news of Mohbad's death hit the internet, people were thrown into shock. Several theories as to the cause of his death began spreading like wildfire. The first supposition was that Mohbad had passed from an ear infection, that he was ill, he had an ear infection, an auxiliary nurse had given him an injection, and he started to react to the injection. On the way to convey him to the hospital, he gave up the ghost in the car. That was the first. The second was that he had gone for a show, and after performing, his friend, a very close friend, allegedly kept on provoking him to a fight, and they eventually got into a scuffle. And in the process, this friend used a charm to hit him on the hand, after which he kept on complaining of pain and couldn't even make it to the hospital. He died from that incident. This is the second supposition making the rounds. The third holds that Mohbad died from hypertension and depression, which was brought about by months and months of bullying, attacks, and horror unleashed on him by Sam Larry and his cohorts. You see, when a young man passes suddenly under suspicious and disputatious circumstances, I believe that more findings should be done to a second. I'm going to ascertain and uncover the true cause of his death, and I'm not alone. Many people share in my belief. So it wasn't added shock to many when only a few hours after Mohbad's passing, he was hurriedly buried. We were all thinking that maybe he's a Muslim and his religion dictates that he be buried immediately. But alas, Mohbad is a Christian. His father is even a pastor in a white garment church. So the big question begging answers is, why was Mohbad hurriedly buried in such a rush without caring to investigate and unravel the mystery surrounding his sudden and untimely death? Did you watch the burial videos? It will sure bring tears to your eyes. An undersized casket was brought in for him. And even when they discovered that casket was undersized, he was a tall guy. He was still forced into it, squashed, sardined into that casket. They couldn't even spare extra time to go get a casket of his size. He was squeezed into that coffin, his neck bent on a 90-degree angle. It was gory to see. Why the rush? Why the hurry? Why the disrespect? There could be more videos, more videos following up on this case. I just felt the need to give us a background into who this guy is and all the incidences that have led to his passing. But I still like to hear from you guys. What do you think in all of this? What are your suspicions? What are your convictions? What are your beliefs? What are your thoughts? Which of these three theories are you more taken by? The ear infection, a spiritual attack, or a climax from all the harassment, hypertension, and depression that he has been going through as a result of the constant attacks? Let us hear your thoughts down in the comment section. That someday he would find rest. Someday all the pain will go away. And we certainly hope that now, finally, he would find some peace. May God rest his soul. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Turn on your bell notifications. Give this video a big thumbs up. Drop all your thoughts and comments in the comment section.